Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Imaginary Engineering. This is Kirti. In this video, we are going to build a very simple application, news application using the React.js, and I'm using the Tailwind for CSS and styling. So I'm using the news API to render this article. Then we will implement the search functionality and infinite scrolling. If I scroll down here, look carefully. In this scroll bar touch to the bottom of this page, it will trigger the next API call. Here, if I go to the bottom of page, it will trigger the next API call and load the next articles. Here you can see, as soon as I scroll down, it will load the next articles. This have the functionality. Maybe you have seen this on Instagram, Facebook. When we scroll down and reach to the bottom of page, the next post will be loaded. So this is the same kind of functionality, infinite scrolling we will see. So let's go to the VS Code and start the coding part. I will open the terminal. First we will create a React tab using the with npm create with latest, enter. Then it asking for the project name. I want this news API, so I will just say dot. So it will take the folder name, and then React, choose the JavaScript, enter. Then install the npm packages, npm I. It will take some time. Now this node module folder, all the packages has been installed. This is our package.json file. If I run this npm run dev, our application is running on port 5173. Here our application is running. So let's go back to the VS Code. Then we will configure the Tailwind. So let's go to the browser, and here you can go to this official website of Tailwind. They have mentioned all the things step by step. So first I will copy this npm this command and paste it here. Enter. npm install Tailwind CSS. Now next I will go to this wit.config file. Here we have to import this Tailwind, add the Tailwind plugin. So I'm copying this, import, and paste it here. We need to add this Tailwind plugin to our wit.config file. Then next step is import this CSS. So it's very easy to configure the Tailwind in our app. So I will go to this app.css. No, I will go to this index.css and remove all these things and paste it here. Import Tailwind CSS. Now I will go to this app.jsx and remove all these things. Control A. Create a component, app component, and here I will add the div to check if that Tailwind is configured properly or not. So I'm giving the class name. Let's say hello, and we'll provide a text color red. 500. And let's go to our browser and check. Refresh the page. Here you see the text in red color means it's configured properly. Now next, first I will show you the API, news API. You can search for the news API. You will see this newsapi.org. First, you have to generate the API key. I have already generated. Here is my API key. Don't use my API key. I will delete this API key after recording this video. So, generate your own API key. And this is our API. You can see. So, here is the API. I will go to the VS Code. SRC folder. I will create a new folder for API. Inside this folder, I will create a api.jsx file, and I'm using the Axios to fetch the data. So let's install the Axios npm I Axios, and here if I copy this, let me copy this part first. Everything is okay. I will copy this, open in a new tab, copy these things, and then I will copy this API part. We need to replace this API key. I will go to this API. I have generated this API key. I will copy this and paste it here. Enter. Here we get all this data. Now let's go to the VS Code. Axios has been installed. So Axios, import the Axios from Axios create method. I will call, and we will pass the base URL here. So base URL is this HTTPS news API org v2. This will be our base URL. I will copy this and paste it here, and I will store this in variable. So const, let's say API client equal to spelling mistake const. Now next I will create a function to call the API. So export const get all products equal to arrow function. Then we call this API client, which has the get method, and then we will pass the rest of the API in URL endpoints. First, I will create a variable to store the API key equal to. This is our API key. Let me copy this API key. Go to the VS Code and paste it here, and then I will copy this endpoint. Copy. Go to the VS Code and paste it here. This is the search query that we have passed here. We'll receive this search query as a parameter, and I will replace this with the search value. Then API key, I will remove this API key and I will pass it as a variable. So API key is, now we are done. And now we'll create a component folder. Inside this component folder, I will create a news.jsx, create a news component. Here, what I will do, I will create a function to fetch all the product. So const fetch data equal to, this will be a sync function. Then I will call the method get all product that we have created. Here we need to pass this search query. So what I will do, I will create a variable using the use state. Let's say search, set search to update the value of search, then use state, and I will pass the initial value as a Tesla. And now I'm passing the search variable as a parameter. It will return the response and we will call the then I will console log the response here response.data, and if we get the error, then for that I will call the catch function. We'll simply console log the error here, our news component. So news, not import, let me import this news component. Okay, now we go back, refresh the page. Here we get the response. Here you see articles, 98 articles, and status okay. This is the articles object. So we'll go to the api.js news component, and here we will say data dot articles. We'll go back and refresh the page. Here we get the array of object. So let's go to the VS Code. Then first I'll add the navbar, create a div. Inside the navbar we have the two things. First one is a logo and second one is a search bar. Input type will be text, value. I will pass this search value, and on change event will update, call the set search and update the search value in dot target dot value. Will add the styling. So let me open this browser side by side. For this div. Now this div I will pass the class name. Height will be 100 VH. Then width full. Then do some padding. Then background color will be black. Text white. Then for the news, let's say class name, I will add the text for the news. I want a text trade 400. Increase the font size. I want this font to bold, so font bold, font bold. And for the search bar, add the CSS class name, width, I will give the 300 pixel, then height, I will give 30 pixel, background color, I want white, and padding too. Let's give some padding, and I will say outline. Now I will remove this text white. Now you can see this text up. So now our new bar is ready to show in full screen. So here is our logo and search bar. And then next we will show the different news options. Next we will show the different news categories. So I have mentioned all the news categories. So I will copy this. We'll create one variable const options and store all these things in array. Okay, so these options will be our list which contain the business, technology, sport, different news categories. Next, I will add a div to render those options. I will add another div inside that, and we will use the map to iterate for each element. Item, index, it will return the div, so return div, and I will simply pass the item here. Now here you can see all the options. For this div, let's do the styling, class name, give the width 1200 pixel, then height 500 pixel. I will give margin left right auto and give some margin at the top 40 pixel. Here we have given some margin at the top. Class name clicks, so it will be in a row. Justify center, so it will be now horizontally center, and for the vertical center I will add items center. Then I want a border at the bottom, so border bottom 1 pixel and some padding at the bottom, so padding bottom, let's say 10 pixel. You can see some padding here. Now for this div we'll add a styling, class name, background color black, text color I will say red 300, then some margin at the right and left, so let's say 20. Next we will render these our articles. First we will create a one news state to store this news data which we have fetched. So news data, set news data to update this news variable equal to news state. Initially it will be empty array, and we call this news data here and pass these articles. Now we will show this all the articles. We'll add another div here. Let me create a new component for the news item. So let's create a new component. Let's say news items dot jsx. Create a component news items, and here in this component we will pass the news items as a props, news data as a prop. Then we'll go to this news here I will call this news items component and pass this news data as a prop. Let's go to this news items. Here we receive this all the items. What we will do here, we will simply render all these items. So let's call this news data dot map to iterate each article. Item index return detail. I will pass the key here index to uniquely identify each component. Then we have the image. First we'll render the image. Let me console log this first. Console log. Then console log. Let's see what we get in this news data. I will inspect. Let me clear these things and refresh the page once. Here you see we get all this data. We have the title, URL to image, the author, content, description. We just want the title and image. So let me just pass the source attribute. And we have the item dot URL to image. Alt will say as image. Then I will add another div for the title and link. H4 I will pass the title item dot title. Then I will add an anchor tag to show the message read more. href we will pass this URL. So item dot URL. So let me close this. And here you can see the image, title, and URL. This read more. This is basically URL. If I click on that, I will redirect to this news. Let me come back. Now we will add the styling. So first I will go to this news and here I will add a class name and property grid because I want the 4 columns and gap specify. So there is lot of space. Here you can see there is a lot of space in between this. So let me remove this height. I will remove this height and add some margin at the top. Let's say 30 pixel. Yeah, add some more. Let's say 40 pixel. Now it looks fine. Okay, we need some. Now let me move this div inside this div. So this will be in center. Okay, now here you can see all the articles with the title, link. Let's do some styling for this article. So I will add a class name here. I want this background color black, so I'm adding a class bg black. Then text white. I want a rounded corner, so I'm adding the class rounded medium. You see this rounded corner. Then some shadow I will add. There's a shadow to Excel. Excel is enough for this. Yeah. Then for this red more, I want this in a red color. So text red 400. Then underline. I want to underline. So now it looks good. This both the title and this link I want it at the bottom. So here I'm adding the class name absolute bottom. So here in outer div, I'm adding the class relative. Yeah, now it looks good. Let's give some height and width to this image. So I give the height. Sorry, class name. Height, let's say 180 pixel. Width full, and we'll add a opacity also. Let's say opacity 0.3. Yeah, now it looks good. Also, I want some padding, so let's add some padding. Yeah, now it looks good. Next, now I want to add a hover effect. When I hover on this card, it will be, I want it to be scaled a little bit. So I will add a transform class transition all, then duration, let's say 300, and hover scale 105. Now if I hover on that, you can see it scale a little bit. As I will say cursor pointer. Yeah, now it looks good. Let's go back to our news component. Next, we will add the infinite scrolling. Here is the library I'm using for the infinite scrolling, React infinite scroll component. Let me copy this and we go to our VS Code and paste it here. So this is the library. It's very easy. You can go through this documentation. First, import this infinite scroll. Copy this line. Come to our VS Code. Paste it here. Then here, I'm copying this infinite scroll component. Go to our VS Code. Then I will paste it here. Here, instead of item, we'll pass our article. So let me cut this, and instead of item, we'll pass our news items component. And then here items length, we will pass our news data length. So news data dot length. Fetch data, we will create this function. Then has more, this will be checked if there is a more data to be loaded. Loader, it's just a text loading. In message, let's say in message we will say no more articles. Then this function, I'm not going to use that, so simply I'm going to remove all this. Yeah, now only thing is that this fetch data, we already have the function fetch data, so let me create a new function. First it's a fetch news, and then this fetch news function we will pass here. So next, let me show you first the API. That query parameter, we need to pass in this URL. I'm passing the page size and page. This page size will be indicate the number of items per page, and page indicate the page number. Enter. Here you see we get the 10 items. If I say instead of 10, I will say 2. Enter. Here we get the 2 articles. Here you see we get the 2 articles and page number. So we will pass this page size and page query parameter. Let's go back to our API. First, let me create the, to hold this page value, first we will create a variable. So let's go to our news component, and here I'm creating the const page, page, set page, but to use state, initially value will be 1, and we'll pass this page as a argument to this function, get all products. So let's go to our API. Here we receive this page as a parameter page, and then here shift page size. I'll say 6, and page will be page that we receive from the parameter response argument. Let's go back to our news component, and whenever that page is inside this page news, let's go back to our news component. Now inside this page news we will update this page value. So we say set page previous value plus 1 will update the page number, and every time when we update we want to call this fetch data function. So I will pass this page in dependency array. So every time when that page value change, this function will be called. The optional argument to this infinite scroll, I will say scroll threshold and pass the value 0.9. Basically, this is the 90%. So here we are saying next API call will trigger when this scroll bar is to the 90% of the page size. So whenever the 19% of the page size scroll bar reach, then this scroll threshold will call the next API call will be triggered. And also in this URL query parameter, instead of 6 I will say 12. Now we are ready, so let's go to our browser and refresh the page. Here I will refresh. Here we see the scroll bar. Let me open this network tab, refresh. Let me refresh it again. Now look carefully. As soon as I reach to this bottom of page, next API call is triggered. But if you notice that previous articles has been override here, so let me go back to our VS Code. Here say data, we will store the previous articles. So previous articles we will store first and then add a new one. Yes. Now let's go back. Let me refresh the page. Here. Now when I reach to the bottom of page, it called the next API call here. Page is 2. Now I scroll down. Now page is 3. Again I will scroll down. Now page is 4. Here you see it triggered the next API call. Let me close this, and this is our search functionality. So let's implement this search functionality quickly. I will go to this news component. Here we will add a one search bar. I'm using the React icon. So first install the React icons, npm I React icons. Then I will go to this React icon search here. This search I will choose and then import this statement. I will copy this, and after the input field I will paste it here. If I go to this our website, here right now we can't see because of that black color. Let me add a background color. So BG I will say white. Now here you see this icon. Add a class plates, justify center, items center, and for this search I will add a class name, text excel. It will increase the size. Okay. Medium is also fine. Medium. Yeah. Enter. Yeah. Now it looks good. Here, I'm not able to type anything. Yeah, I forgot to pass is. So let's check. Yes. Now it works. On the search icon, we'll call the add a on click event and call one method. Let's say search news. We haven't created that method yet, so let's create that method. Cons search news, and simply here we'll call the function fetch data. But before that, what I will do, we'll set the news data to empty. This news data is not defined. Okay, here I have made a spelling mistake, so let me correct it. Set news data. Okay, replace it. Now set news data. And also I will reset the page to 1. So set page reset to 1, and then we'll call the fetch data. Now we are done. So here I will say moon. Click on the search. It loaded all the moon related articles, and as soon as I let me maximize the screen. As soon as I reach to the bottom of page, it triggered the next API call. Here you can see it triggered the next API call and load the next articles. So this is the short video related to this news API and infinite scrolling. I hope you like this video and learned something new. And if you did, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Imaginary Engineering. Thank you for watching.